one for sleeping in.
Every morning, Bert Morrow does what he's been doing for years. It makes him feel better.
It's not in my nature to sit around on my duff.
Eating a Chiquita banana every morning also makes him feel better. Its magnesium and valuable potassium help give him what he needs to enjoy the slow-paced life of a retiree.
Maybe when I'm 100, I'll take up shuffleboard.
Chiquita bananas, quite possibly the world's perfect food.
Good news. J.D. Power & Associates ranked Toyota best compact pickup in initial quality. It gets better. It's year-end clearance at your Toyota dealers. That means great deals on a top-quality pickup that you can lease or buy and save even more with factory-to-dealer incentives. For even bigger news, how about the bigger T100, ranked best full-size pickup in initial quality. And with incentives, you can save big time. So come to your Toyota dealer and see all the good news. But hurry, good news travels fast.
And now, here are tonight's winning Powerball numbers. This is KSTP Channel 5, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Live from your 24-hour news channel. This is Eyewitness to the Week.
Neighbors expressed outrage tonight after two people, including a 4-year-old boy, died in a fire at their apartment complex. That's tonight's top story. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Now, the tragedy happened at Cedar Riverside Apartments around 10 o'clock last night.
The fire apparently started in a closet, and flames weren't the worst problem. Smoke was. As Ross Curtis tells us, neighbors are questioning the building's safety equipment.
It's still not known what started the fatal apartment fire on the 6th floor of this Riverside apartment building, but those who live here say they have their own opinion how lives may have been saved.
Without the fire, system not working, if it was working, I don't think it would happen.
45-year-old Marie Mitchell and 4-year-old son Aaron died from apparent smoke inhalation from the fire in their apartment. Neighbors say because they never heard an alarm, by the time they smelled the fire, it may have been too late. Residents here say the building personnel had recently inspected the smoke alarms, but they didn't hear anything last night. Even the firemen couldn't tell where the smoke was coming from because they had to check several floors to find the right apartment.
And they couldn't find the smoke or fire. So the men say it's coming from there, and they kicked the door open, and then they just flooded with smoke out here so bad.
Marie and her son were found inside. Efforts to revive them failed. The fire did not produce enough heat to activate the building's sprinkler system. The building's management insists an inspection today shows all systems were working properly.
I don't know if something was wrong. I just know that I ain't going to be with Marie and Aaron no more. Very sorrowful about that.
Arson investigators say they'll return to the scene to determine how a fire contained to one apartment ended up taking two people's lives. Ross Curtis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Now, the medical examiner's office says it's still trying to determine the exact identity of the victim, known to many as Marie Mitchell. Relatives say she used several names. A 26-year-old man is dead tonight after a vicious stabbing attack. Last night, the man was found lying near the intersection of Grotto and Edmond in St. Paul. He was rushed to the St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center, where he later died. Now, two suspects, a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, are in custody for the stabbing. The victim's name has not been released.
A freak accident in Burnsville backed up traffic along northbound I-35 this afternoon. A massive electronic sign fell off the Burnsville Parkway overpass and onto the interstate.
All of a sudden, we just heard a great big boom. It was a big explosion. So a bunch of us come run down the hill and seen it. But it was a whole sign just laying right face down right in the street.
Now, fortunately, the sign didn't fall onto any cars. It was so heavy that it took 2 tow trucks to haul it out of the way. A Twin Cities woman is dead after a train hit her car. Happened about 8 o'clock this morning, 4 miles west of Brainerd in Cass County. Police say 28-year-old Lori Hazard was killed when a Burlington Northern train struck her car. Hazard was from Little Canada.
Independent Republican delegates declaring who they'd like to see as the next governor gave the current governor, Arnie Carlson, a very narrow victory over his closest challenger today. Regardless, though, Carlson said he was thrilled at the warm reception he was given after last year's humiliating chorus of boos. Political reporter Carrie Miller was at today's convention and has this report.
Political newcomer Doug McFarland credited good old-fashioned organized politicking for his straw ballot Senate seat win, noting his campaign was just a few weeks old.
People outside of people in my own district didn't know who I was, so I started at zero, and I didn't know people might laugh at me, I thought. But the more people I talked to, they gave me more names to talk to, and, you know, it's just, this is rolling.
But perhaps the most interesting outcome was Governor Arne Carlson's narrow 32-vote defeat of Alan Quist. Carlson, who watched as delegates walked out on him last year, this year got a warm reception.
All of us need each other. Make no bones about it. I need you.
But the ultra-conservative Quist is confident.
We are going to win. Absolutely, we'll win.
But just what the straw ballot really means is questionable. For the candidates, perhaps it gives them a morale and a money boost. But for the voters, remember, the election is still more than a year away.
An election Senator Dave Durenberger sounded relieved he wouldn't have to prepare for. He announced Thursday he wasn't running for re-election. In a philosophical moment, he told conventioneers that politics wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
I now know that life is 10% what you make of it and 90% how you take it. Politics is just the reverse.
But if there was one central theme mouthed by nearly every speaker, it was party solidarity, a healing of the divisions, a chance to seize what one poll called the best opportunity for the Republicans in 16 years. Carrie Miller, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
Now, the straw poll results are not official party endorsements. Those will be made at the state convention in June of 1994.
Our look at the world tonight begins in Cuba, where Fidel Castro is helping the U.S. catch drug dealers. 2 alleged cocaine traffickers were secretly flown from Havana to Miami today in a move that could dramatically improve relations between the countries. Cuban Coast Guard arrested the men in August. They had 720 pounds of cocaine aboard their speedboat. The suspects live near Miami. In Bosnia, a ceasefire is quickly dissolving. Rocket fire rained down on the town of Mostar, and shootouts occurred in 3 other cities despite a new peace treaty. The treaty will give Serbs and Croats a chance to vote on whether to secede from Bosnia. Fierce fighting tonight in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. Rebels in the northern part of the nation declared their independence in 1992. The result has been a civil war. Georgia leader Edward Shevardnadze begged for help today. 2,000 volunteers responded and took up battle stations. And the mafia is being blamed for a car bomb that injured 4 police officers in Sicily today. The attack comes just 2 days after a Catholic priest was murdered for preaching against the mafia. The car contained more than 20 pounds of TNT. One of the injured officers lost all his fingers. Another will probably be blind.
As if all the allegations about child molesting weren't bad enough, now Michael Jackson's causing controversy for offending Jewish people. In Jerusalem today, he and his bodyguards and a few young friends were surrounded by photographers, which they knew they would be when they visited the ancient Western Wall. Now, this wall is Judaism's holiest site. Photos are not allowed on the Sabbath. Dozens of Orthodox Jews screamed at the pop star and tried to barricade the entrance. Jackson performs in Tel Aviv tomorrow and Tuesday.
Well, still ahead, it's been quite a week for Dave Durenberger. First, he gives up his Senate career, then first gives First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton the hook.
Well, we've got an awesome light show for you, a thunderstorm as seen from outer space.
And attention all expectant moms, you'll see what's out there to make life a little bit easier.
And there's a good chance we might see some of those thunderstorms looking up at them rather than looking down. The AccuWeather 5 forecast for Sunday is on the way.
It's America's best mattress sale at Slumberland. You may never save more on America's best brands, including every top-rated model. Nothing is held back. Serta, King Coil, Simmons Beauty Rest, all reduced to a fraction of regular prices. Even Sealy Posturepedic is half price for this event. Half price. Plus, get no payments and no interest for 6 full months. America's best mattress sale now through Monday only at Slumberland. If you think you can do better, dream on.
Can't do better. You just can't do better than Slumberland.
With Blockbuster video stores popping up all over, there's only one place where you'll find more movies. But it's a 1,875-mile drive. Blockbuster Video. Opening soon in Eagan and at Grand and Lexington.
Remember your first project? Knox knows that feeling. Like the first time you hammered a nail in, straight. The smell of fresh cut wood. The thickness of pure white paint. It all starts at Knox. where we've been helping you with your projects for over 60 years, with quality products and low prices from people who know what they sell. When your next project rolls around, it's Knox. We work to make your job easier.
The future is now at your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealer's minivan store. Nowhere else is there a better selection of minivans. Minivans so advanced, they meet 1998 federal car safety standards now. The 94 Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, Chrysler Town and Country, all with more available safety features than anyone else. Plus, see our other great 94 values, like Plymouth Duster. The future is now at your neighborhood Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
A political era ended in Minnesota this week.
Senator Dave Durenberger announced he will not run for what would have been his fourth term on Capitol Hill. Durenberger met with reporters on Thursday, ending months of speculation about his future. He says the time has come to focus on life away from politics.
I also, and especially, want to attend to my family and my friends, especially my 4 sons and my parents.
Now, Durenberger still faces a criminal trial for allegedly bilking the federal government out of travel money.
Durenberger's announcement was just one of many events that topped our news this week.
Here's a look at the other stories making news in our Week in Review.
And she went so close to the bus that the bus driver couldn't see her, and he started, and he just ran over her.
A 6-year-old Bloomington girl died Monday, the result of a tragic accident. Tiffany Mead had just gotten off the bus at 102nd Street and 2nd Avenue when she was struck and killed. No charges have been filed against the driver.
On Tuesday, charges were filed for the murder of Don Halderson, a Lino Lakes Group home employee. A 14-year-old boy is accused of shooting Halderson as she sat in the living room of a house. 29-year-old Sandra Frederick allegedly bought the bullets used in the attack.
6 jurors, and not 12, will decide the fate of accused cop killer Mwati Pepe McKenzie. On Wednesday, a judge accepted a surprise request by McKenzie's attorney. McKenzie is accused of killing Officer Jerry Hoff last September at a South Minneapolis restaurant. State law only requires 6 jurors for a trial. Prosecutors say they'll appeal the ruling.
Mr. Malarkey came to know them and participated in laundering their drug money.
On Thursday, federal agents seized control of Sergeant Preston's restaurant after owner Stephen Malarkey admitted using drug money to finance the business. Malarkey will spend 6 months in jail. The feds will sell Sergeant Preston's back to Malarkey for $150,000.
First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton spent Friday in the Twin Cities, stirring up support for health care reform. She gave few specifics of the plan, but stressed the current system costs too much and leaves too many people uninsured.
And last night's televised town meeting was marked by an embarrassing moment for Senator Dave Durenberger. Mrs. Clinton was giving an answer to a question, and the senator apparently had heard enough.
And based on what you've told me, I think your costs would be considerably lower. Thank you, Senator.
Durenberger didn't realize she could see him. The First Lady laughed off the incident, and I thought she took it remarkably well.
He was obviously shocked. I think we've all learned never, never, never around a live microphone or a live camera do anything that you don't want to share with lots of people.
That's why we just sit here like this all the time.
That's right. Coming up next, Chris Grope brings us a soggy Sunday forecast. Plus, you'll get a shuttle's eye view of a thunderstorm as seen by the Discovery crew today.
And a little later on, the action was fast and furious as inline skaters go head-to-head.
Because we want you home. Say.
Cutlass Sierra, value addition, one price, $13,995. Look at all you'll get for $13,995.
An airbag, anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, power locks, power seats, and much more. Demand better. Get the Oldsmobile Edge with a satisfaction guarantee, roadside assistance, and bumper-to-bumper warranty.
We've got a great selection, all at one price.
The Cutlass Sierra, one price, $13,995 at Wally McCarthy's Oldsmobile in Richfield.
Hey, why aren't you at Musicland right now?
We're from Australia.
I'd love to go, but give my boss a call.
Well, we're just here for on vacation.
While you're here, stop by Musicland and get titles like Garth Brooks' In Pieces on Liberty.
Is it that way or that way?
And how about you?
Why, is something on sale?
Why are you following me?
To tell you how to save on great country music like Winona Judd's Tell Me Why on MCA.
I can make time for that.
Okay, so now what do you think?
Don't you know it's all right?
We got what's hot on sale now through September 19th.
Everything's on sale during Wick's 36-hour sale. Put no money down with no payments and no interest charges due till March with a Wick's charge.
Wick's, surprisingly, Wick's.
Doesn't it seem that a lot of your favorite old memories involve your family car? There was the summer you drove to Mount Rushmore, the trips to Grandma's house, fishing trips with your best friend, and the honeymoon to Niagara Falls. Well, here's a reminder that you don't need to settle for old memories with your old car. Stop by your new car dealer. Check out the new cars and trucks, and you might just get some ideas for some great new memories. A message from your Greater Metropolitan Automobile dealers.
With NASA playing the song A Whole New World, we get another beautiful daytime view of the Earth as seen from the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Well, these shots never get old, but here's something breathtakingly new. Nighttime shots of lightning crackling over the southeastern United States. The shuttle astronauts have also been watching the formation of a tropical storm. As you can see, the eye of the hurricane there, or rather the tropical storm, is getting much more defined. Now, it's not quite a hurricane yet, right, Chris?
Nope, still sitting out in the warm waters. Still hurricane season, though. Another tropical storm over the Yucatan Peninsula. Portions of central Mexico has been just dumping a lot of rain. That could move into the Gulf. One thing about tropical storms, hurricanes that I usually like to mention is that the remnants, if they make it into the Gulf, can get caught up into the jet stream and give us a lot of rainfall eventually. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to either one of these.
But we're going to get rain anyway, right?
Yeah, can you believe it? A stunning day today.
Yep.
Oh, gorgeous.
There was a lot of grumbling in the weather office about having to be in on a day like today. I should know. I was the only one in there. It was me. Beautiful weather, never lasts long this time of year, and this is definitely going to be the case. Tomorrow, if you're thinking of outdoor plans, you'll need the rain gear, especially by about 2 in the afternoon. Let's look back at today and this evening, a glorious evening. Little chess going on in Uptown. Vince Dalling shot this for me this evening. Thanks, Vince. Right now in the Twin Cities, kind of cool, kind of dry. Can we see who's winning there? 40, that's the sports. 40 in International Falls, 47 in Brainerd, 52 in the Twin Cities, 49 in Eau Claire. Note Ironwood, 39. Frost and freeze advisories up over the northern third of Wisconsin. In Minneapolis and St. Paul right now, 52 degrees. The dew point's pretty low, 74% is the relative humidity. The winds are calm. A gentle easterly breeze all day long, and the barometric pressure is rising. Well, this afternoon we topped out at 64. Thought it felt a little warmer than that. No precipitation as of yet. That's going to change in the records. It gets as cold as 32. Oh, well, I thought that was 32. Maybe it's 37. It gets as cold as about 32 this time of year, so freezes are possible. 7:20 is the sunset time tomorrow. Satellite pictures show what I'm concerned about that's going to give us the rain. Look at this. The spin in the atmosphere right here, brightening the clouds over eastern Nebraska, Kansas, heavy thunderstorms. This rainfall is going to move over to the top of us. I imagine it should be raining by about noon tomorrow. You can see the center of this storm, that spinning storm, will be pulling up warm air over the cool air sitting over the top of us. It's called an overrunning situation. The cool air is heavier and it lifts that warm air, and the next thing you know, you get some rainfall. Could be as much of an inch of rain in southwestern Minnesota tomorrow. This rain is going to be around for the next couple of days. A soggy AccuWeather 5 forecast. Overnight tonight, 47 with the clouds increasing and an easterly wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I don't think we'll see rainfall right away when you wake up, but by about noon, okay? And Sunday afternoon, if that rain gets going by about noon, 55 is all we can hope for. And tomorrow night, it's going to rain. Monday, off and on showers linger about the area, maybe 60 in the afternoon. And then looking ahead, Tuesday should be the driest day of the week. This overall weather pattern is going to favor storms about every other third day. If that makes any sense. So you get about a third day in there of decent weather. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Coming up next in sports, the Metrodome is a busy place today. First, the Twins play the Blue Jays this morning.
That's right. Then tonight, the Gophers take on Center State. They take Center State, that is, as they take on Center State. Ed Kayla's are next for Erica. Hold at 8.
With information that's more provocative, more useful, and easier to find, the improved Star Tribune has more of what you're hungry for.
The Star Tribune, the new paper of the Twin Cities.
At GMC Truck, we've built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage. It also comes in this handy take-home size. Sierra from GMC Truck.
It's back again and better than ever. It's the Reality Home Show, August 28th through October the 3rd, featuring free parking and free admission. Well, hi, everybody. Gary Lumpkin here, inviting you to see 40 of the newest and freshest floor plans in 3 exciting and easy-to-find locations. There's Cottage Grove, there's Prior Lake, there's Ramsey, where you'll see Ramblers, 2 stories, modified splits, and the absolute newest in kitchens and baths. So visit the Reality Home Show and see how easy and affordable building a new home can be. For more information, call 640-HOME.
Furnace not heating like it used to? Get the Train XC90 furnace. Dependable warmth with a 90% efficiency rating and a lifetime limited warranty on its heat exchangers. It's hard to stop a Train.
Buy a Train cooling product now and receive a 5-year parts and labor warranty free. Consult your Yellow Pages for the dealer nearest you.
And we're underway with the Minneapolis stop of the Rollerblade America Tour.
Through the streets of downtown Minneapolis and in parking lots to the side, the footwear of the day seemed to be a pair of inline skates.
People who've obviously practiced a lot more than us put on an incredible show of acrobatic stunts and just general agility. The Rollerblade America Tour is rolling through 10 American cities this summer. This was its 7th stop, and a man who is just a wizard on rollerblades, Ed Cairo, joins us now for Sports Eric to flip things off tonight.
Going to take us to the Roller Dome, as Mike Ditka used to call it.
Oh, yeah, didn't he? And they had all those ersatz cows down there. And it has been a wild game for Minnesota. They were down by 14, then came back and got ahead. Now they're behind again, 3 to go. It's wild. It's against Kansas State, of course, and so far it hasn't cost the Gophers anything, though. They've rallied to take a lead on the Wildcats, at least at 1 point. K-State didn't waste any time. Second play of the ball game, Chad May rolls out, finds a streaking Kevin Lockett. The play covered 53 yards. The Cats led 7-0. Jim Wacker showed he didn't like that slow start by his team. In fact, more upset when K-State took a 17-0 lead, and J.J. Smith scored on that short touchdown. Minnesota got on the board in the second quarter thanks to a tipped ball in the defense. Doug Heifer caused the tip, picked up by Jeff Roska. He goes in for the touchdown. 17-13 Kansas State at the half. Now down 24-13. The Gophers come back once again thanks to the D. Andy Carcheville blindsides the quarterback. Craig Sauer picks up the ball for the touchdown. Gophers lead it at that point 25-24. But then K-State returned the ball on the ensuing kickoff 71 yards, and 5 plays later J.J. Smith scored this touchdown. And now K-State leads 30-25, but Minnesota has the ball back. Stay tuned, folks. This one ain't over yet. Well, there wasn't any home dome advantage for the Twins earlier today. Scott Erickson and the Twins lost to Toronto 5-1. There's a couple of former A's that helped the Jays beat the Twins today. Dave Stewart on the stretch run for him as he struck out 7, that including Pat Mears there. Ricky Henderson also played a part in today's Toronto win. This single brought home a run. It was 1 of 2 in the 3rd inning. Scott Erickson lost his 19th of the season. It's been 13 years since a pitcher has lost 20 games, and he's on pace to do that. Well, elsewhere in the American League, here's the contending action. It was New York over Boston. Milwaukee shut Baltimore down tonight, and it was Oakland by a run over Chicago. In the National League, Philadelphia 5-4 over Montreal, and San Francisco by 5 over Cincinnati. In Atlanta, Braves fans are hoping their team will reel in a 3rd straight NHL West title. That's not a title, but that's part of the implements you use to get it. The play of the game made by that fan who nabbed a foul ball with a fishing pole. But the Mets got the bigger catch, a win when little-used Tito Navarro got his first hit of the season in the 10th. That scored the game winner. The Mets beat the Braves 3-2. Atlanta's lead in the West is down to 3 games over the Giants. Back to college football, and you know it's a bad day for Iowa when they lose at home. Tonight, the entire Hawkeye State must be in shock after Iowa was shut out by Penn State 31-0. Penn State head coach Joe Paterno becomes the first coach ever to shut out Hayden Fry's Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium. The Nittany Lions ran right through Iowa. Kajana Carter goes 23 yards for 1 touchdown. Penn State is 2-0 in the Big Ten after whipping Iowa 31-0. You think Wisconsin is excited about its 24th-ranked Badgers? Today against Iowa State, the Badgers had their first sellout in 8 years. Brent Moss carried the Badgers to victory today, scoring 3 touchdowns and rushing for 104 yards. Wisconsin's now 3-0 after storming past the Cyclones 28-7. Other Big Ten action today, it was Notre Dame beating Michigan State, and then Wisconsin, as you saw earlier, over Iowa. Indiana downed Kentucky. It was Ohio State beating Pittsburgh, walloped them in fact. Arizona by a couple over Illinois. Northwestern with an upset of Boston College. Florida State over North Carolina today in the top 10. It was Alabama beating Arkansas. Miami 21-3 over Virginia Tech. Florida beat Tennessee. Syracuse, 6th-ranked, tied Texas. In the first, Colorado and Stanford. Stanford is up on Colorado, 7-0. Nebraska has beaten UCLA. And look at this score. Texas A&M over Big Time. 73-0 over Missouri. Locally coached Mal Scanlon has taken his winning ways from Cretin-Derham Hall High School to St. Thomas College. Today, the Tommies beat St. Olaf. Tommies were led by the rushing of Tim Mitchell, who scored 2 touchdowns. St. Thomas beats the Olies 35-12. And elsewhere in the MIAC today, it was Hamlin by 2 over Carleton. St. John's walloped Augsburg, and Bethel over McAllister 31-14. No final yet on the Gophers, but we're checking.
If we have one, we'll have an update. Thanks.
Still ahead, surviving the baby boom.
Yeah, we'll take you to a special fair where moms and dads learn kitty shortcuts. Stay with us.
You are going to love this house. You see, it's hard to be lived in.
Corian countertops are created for
Cooking? I don't think the woman knew how.
Corian's virtually stain-proof, so you can...
And the bathroom. Immaculate, as you see. No kids, no pets.
And Corian surfaces stand up to
They must have been a quiet, elderly couple.
DuPont Corian, created for life.
Choosing the right heating and cooling dealer used to be a real guessing game.
Furnace man.
But now, with Lennox quality dealer standards, Lennox products and dealers are an unbeatable team.
Take it from Dave Lennox. If you want your heating and cooling job done right, call on the professionals at Apollo Heating.
At Pine Plumbing and Heating, your energy experts since 1970. Our concern is your comfort.
Buy a qualifying Lennox system now and get a free color TV.
Dear Dave, I know you've got kids, but if you don't have teenage boys, you don't know about $74 sneakers. My first car didn't cost that much. Luckily, there was a Wendy's nearby with a super value menu, 99 cents across the board. Great chili, junior bacon cheeseburgers, biggie fries, Caesar side salad. It was a great lunch. I'd forgotten money can go that far.
Wendy's 9 for $99 super value menu, where you don't pay more, you just get more.
$74 for sneakers? That's cheap. Man, I must be getting old.
Don't miss the 94 Cats. See your dealer now before the new Arctic Cat snowmobiles and the fall deals are gone.
And finally tonight, it appears there's a baby boom going on.
We've seen that here at Channel 5, where both Angela's store and Valhalla Dennis are expecting. And all over the Twin Cities, you see parents with babies in backpacks and strollers. Now, this apparent trend is not being lost on area retailers. So today, Calhoun Square held Baby Fair 93. More than 40 booths were set up with everything from child safety information to newfangled Velcro sheets for infants' cribs.
Why not? Let's bring them all in, give everybody sort of a one-stop place to find out the who, when, wheres, and whys of baby care.
And take a look at these outdoor outfits for rugged toddlers and these diapers that require no pins or sticky tape.
And before we go, we do want to update you on that score. Actually, it's still 30-25 with Kansas State leading, but the Gophers are driving on the 5.
Less than a minute to go.
See you tomorrow.